by saying that I am reviewing the Heart Impact Driver. No, I'm just kidding. I don't review tools. I leave that up to other people. I just use them. So I have falling Dodges. Anyway, so I've owned my car for about a year now, and I just kind of wanted to go over with you guys with some thoughts of having owned a Chrysler 300C all-wheel drive for a year, and just kind of what I think of it, and benefits, pros and cons, and all that. So, without further ado, I'm just going to get right into it. One of the biggest things that drew me to this car, I'm just going to start right off with this, was that I wanted a Dodge Challenger. I love the Dodge Challengers. I love the Scat Packs specifically. I don't know, it's not just the body lines, it's the complete package. It's the wheels, the tires that you can put on there, the body lines, the interior. I love Scat Packs. Anybody who knows me knows that I love Scat Packs. I mean, right there, a Scat Pack emblem right above me. And up on this cabinet here is nothing but Scat Packs and Hellcats and stuff like that, so... having said that, I wanted a Scat Pack, but, when I bought my car originally, I went to look at a Scat Pack that had already sold, and, I had contacted the dealership and was in contact with them, and I was like, hey, I'm coming to look at this car, and blah, 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 I'm really interested in it, and we might make a deal if I like it, kind of gave them one of those, and before I even got there, they had already made a deal with somebody else, which, it is what it is. They do that all the time. It's just the nature of the beast. So where we go with that is I looked at a couple other cars that I really wasn't interested in. They had an all-wheel drive Charger, which I really like, but the one they had, somebody put some janky aftermarket, like 22s on there, and they just looked horrible. They looked like somebody had beat the crap out of them. Like they had just drove up against every curb that was in the entire city of Omaha, Nebraska. So, they said, hey, at this other store, at our actual Chrysler Dodge Jeep store, we have these other cars here. If you're willing to go over there and look at them, it's not too far from here and stuff, and we'll give them a call and let them know you're on your way, and have them pull up those cars and have them waiting for you and stuff, and so I go and look at a couple other ones. They had a Challenger SRT 392. It was a 2012, the same year as my current car, actually. What kind of shied me away from that was it was extreme. And this is never an issue with me. I don't want to sound like I'm just nitpicking the car, so I wouldn't buy it. It was an extremely low mileage car that was a 6-speed transmission, owned by from what I was told, owned by an older gentleman who bought it just, like a bucket list car. But when I got in it, it had had a lot more miles than they were advertising, and I wasn't really happy with that. I don't like when dealerships advertise that it's a certain mileage and they don't update it as, because sometimes they drive these things home, which is ridiculous. Anyway, moving on. So I didn't wind up buying that one. I loved the car. I loved everything about it. It was everything I wanted. It was a 6-speed manual. It was an awesome looking car. Amazing paint. Everything was flawless. It's just that it had a lot more mileage on it than was previously advertised. It kind of upset me. So that brings me to my current car. They had two exactly the same cars like mine, but the only big difference was one was a 300S all-wheel drive, and the other one was a 300C all-wheel drive in white. And then they had my car sitting on a lot, untouched, real clean, but But you know, when we went and looked at it and stuff at the lot, they had the backup lot that they had it sitting at, and I gotta say, like, you know, when I saw the paint and how perfect the paint was on it, you know, which is, it's weird to see a black car with almost immaculate paint in this area. It had relatively low mileage for what it was. They had all the documentation on everything that had ever been done to it. The mileage was accurate to what they had posted. They, you know, they did everything right, but they did everything right as far as advertising the car to me. There's a long story behind me buying this car, which I don't know why this is bugging me so much, but I had to move that. Anyway, there's a long story behind it, and it'll be told at another time. When the time is right, I'll tell it, even though it's been a year since it's happened, and I still don't feel that they've completely tried to make it right at all. Anyway, moving on. I don't want to sound like I'm griping about it. So, bought my car, you know, signed the paperwork on it and everything, and it ran great. It good fuel mileage. You know, we filled it up at an Omaha and drove all the way back to my home in Sioux City, Iowa. And I mean, from Omaha to Sioux City, it's about an hour, but it's at 70 plus miles an hour on an interstate you go to get there, and I mean, I want to say it got like 25, 26 miles per gallon right out of the gate, factory, nothing untouched, bone stock, completely bone stock car. You know, what drew me to this car specifically, one, it's a Mopar. Two, it is the better looking son, or I'm sorry, the better looking brother of the Dodge Charger, in my opinion. It looks more classy. It's the one that has all the money, and the little brother borrows it from him all the time. So yeah, it looked to me like what I would want in a car, even though I like Challengers and Scat Packs and the such. And you'll hear me talk a lot about it, and even the logo I used for this car, it's a reworked Scat Pack logo that I borrowed from numerous places. It has, you know, it's well known because our channel is about 5.7 liter Hemis, so it has the 5.7 Hemi in it. It's got the 5.7 Hemi, it's 5-speed automatic, it's all-wheel drive. Had okay tires on it. Sorry, my camera keeps going dead. Yeah, the tires were Cooper CS5s, not the greatest. Got new tires on it. The Nexen N5000 Plus. They're the more performance oriented. They're designed for all weather, but they're not soft enough that they'll just shred during the summer, and they're not hard enough that they won't grip during the winter. So they're kind of a nice medium tire. One of the cons, another con, was that the MDS did not work right from the time I bought it. It just, you know, it didn't have the Hemi tick at that time, but it just didn't work. So yeah, when it would engage, it would actually get worse fuel mileage than when it would, say, like I put it in auto stick mode and in high gear on the interstate. It would get better fuel mileage in auto stick mode than in MDS. So I just kind of started driving to, you know, in such a way to keep the MDS deactivated and get better fuel mileage while I could. So there's that. You know, not make this review too super duper long. The car itself it's pretty awesome. It's everything I expected in a car. I still want a Scat Pack someday, but this will definitely tide me over for a while. I have I'm going to have, as soon as everything gets here, I promise you guys, I'm going to start filming more. We're going to get on it. Corey's got a bunch of stuff coming up. I got a bunch of stuff coming up. We might start actually doing some interviews on some local people who have Mopars and what drew them to Mopar, and stuff like that. So just a little disclaimer right there. I promise. I'm sorry that we're not doing videos as quickly as everybody would like, but it just life